Okay, so it's time for the doctor to give his thoughts on the Nintendo NX announcement. Now, this is very hilarious to me because as soon as this was announced, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of articles. Oh, this shows that Nintendo knows the Wii U sucks and they gotta rush another system out. First of all, Nintendo already knows and has said repeatedly that the Wii U has failed to live up to their expectations. Second, do you guys even pay attention to what you read, or do you just read what you want to hear? Iwata clearly said that the reason the code name for this system was announced was to show that after this mobile, this news about them going mobile with their games, that they were still going to be in the traditional game space. That's it. And then said, we might get more information about this system next year. Maybe. They hope to share. Hope. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like this ain't coming out that soon, is it? They just announced this, like he said, just to calm people's fears that old Nintendo was going mobile full throttle and Nintendo wasn't going to be releasing traditional game machines or games. That was just to calm the fears of the idiots, pretty much. That's what it was for. That was for the stupid people. That was to calm the fears of the idiots that thought Nintendo was going full mobile. Period. That was for you idiots. But anyway, another funny thing is, we really don't know. We assume that this is a home console, but this could very well be their next handheld. It could be. Like I said in a previous video, I really don't see them releasing a new home console before they release a successor to the 3DS. And no, the new 3DS is not a successor to the 3DS. It's this generation's DSi. Deal with it. That is not a successor. That is not a new system. Period. So the NX could be the successor to the 3DS. We don't know that yet. Now, let's assume that it is the successor to the Wii U. Seen a lot of people out there that think this is funny. Oh, this seals the deal. This shows Nintendo sucks. They failed. They got to rush a new system out. Now, the funny part about all of this is that he said that they may be releasing or hope to release more information about this system next year. Next year. Release information. That doesn't mean the system's coming out next year. Actually, going by history, it's definitely not coming out next year. They don't release a home system the same year that they officially announce it. That just doesn't happen. Ever. It just doesn't happen. It almost doesn't really make sense to do that. Even Sony and Microsoft really don't do that. It doesn't make sense to do. You got to build hype for your system. Now, a lot of people are taking that to think, oh, they failed with the Wii U, so they have to come out with the NX to match up to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. But it's news like this that really exposes the noobs on the internet. These video game noobs on the internet. Because only a noob would think that this generation is going to last anywhere near as long as last generation. If the Wii U comes out at the end of 2017, that is a normal console cycle. 5 years. That is normal. Super Nintendo to the GameCube. Super Nintendo to the N64, 5 years. N64 to the GameCube, 5 years. GameCube to the Wii, 5 years. This generation was an exception. And the reason why this was an exception is because the other two, Sony and Microsoft, it took them quite a long time to actually become profitable. Now, the funny thing about this is that, like I said, this shows who the noobs are, shows who hasn't been paying attention for the last couple of years. If you think that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are going to go this whole long time without a successor, especially if Nintendo's coming announces one, you're retarded and clearly not paying attention. If the NX comes out at the end of 2017, PlayStation 5 and the next XFL is probably going to come out somewhere around 2018. He's like, oh no, that's not going to happen. PlayStation is doing great. The Xbox is doing okay, way better than the Wii U. They don't need a new set. They just came out. But the funny part about this is even before these systems launched, you had developers telling you that this generation was definitely going to be shorter than the last one. They told you this generation lasted too long. Such publishers, you may know them like Ubisoft, such publishers like EA. EA downright told you this generation is going to last 5 to 6 years. Expect a successor to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2018. 2018. That's 3 years from now, people. That's not that long from now. That is not that long from now. They don't want this generation to last that long. The only reason why the last generation lasted long is because of profitability concerns. Sony, during the first year of the PlayStation 3 launch, lost all the money they made off PS2. Think about that for 1 second. In the first year of the PlayStation 3 launch, they lost all of the money that they made off the PS2. All of it. PlayStation 3 didn't become a profitable system until around 2010. So of course, no, they ain't going to want to come out with no new system in 2011. They just now started making money. The Xbox division has, when all said and done, the Xbox division has never been in the black. Never. The Xbox division has never made money. Ever. Ever. There's a reason why you hear all these rumors and all this stuff about Microsoft planning to sell the Xbox brand, and yet another rumor popped up about last week. It's because that is one of the only division in Microsoft that is not profitable. Besides the Xbox division, you had the Zoom division. Them niggas got canned because they weren't making any money. The Xbox division does not make money. The only company that could survive with that would be Microsoft because they have a ton of cash. Probably maybe Apple could, but they wouldn't keep a division that lost that much money constantly for the last 14 years? No, they're not going to do that. That division has never made it's never been in the black. And Sony didn't start really making profit off of PlayStation 3 sales until around 2010. So that is the reason why that generation lasted so long. Now I'll bring you to this generation. According to Sony, the PlayStation 4 is already profitable. So they're already making money. They don't need to stretch it out. Now, as you guys have seen before, Sony and Microsoft, they pretty much live and die by what third parties want. Well, third parties want new systems in around 2018. Ubisoft said they already is itching for a PlayStation 4. Like I told you guys before in previous videos, these systems aren't built with long futures in mind. They're built to last around 5 or 6 years. They have mediocre CPUs. The GPUs is aight, and they got a lot of RAM. Period. They weren't built to last as long as the PlayStation 3 and the 360 were built to last, or supposed to last, or built to last, we should say. developers don't want a long console cycle. They've told you this before the systems even came out. So are you dumb idiots laughing that the new Nintendo system might come out at the end of 2017? Keep laughing, because you're going to replace your system about a year after that. But let's take a trip down memory lane. Doesn't this sound kind of familiar? This happened once before. Oh, wait. That was with the Wii U and the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. You remember when the Wii U came out? And people said, oh, this system's going to be competing with the 360 and PS3. We don't need a PlayStation 4 anytime soon. Even Sony said that. We don't see a PlayStation 4 coming out anytime soon. The PlayStation 3 is enough. And then at E3, they showed that first Last of Us footage, that first Gears of War Ascension or Accessions, if you're a next gen. Yeah, you guys saw those graphics. It was like, oh, who needs a PlayStation 4? Oh my gosh, that ain't never coming out. We don't need that. Yeah, we give us about 3-4 more years on that joint. Yeah. And I made a video saying that the Wii U would force Sony and Microsoft to release their systems earlier than expected. And what happened? They came out earlier than expected, didn't they? They came out a year after the Wii U. And it's clear that they didn't come out at the time that they were supposed to, because damn near all the big games coming to the systems have what? Been delayed. Damn near every one of them. Haven't they? Haven't they? Haven't they? Look, you guys can laugh about Nintendo releasing a new system in a normal hardware cycle all you want, because Sony and Microsoft are going to do the same damn thing. Have that seat. That's why they call me